2 months after his election defeat, Donald Trump is still hoping to reverse the voters' verdict. The U.S. president has long refused to concede the race, citing unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud. Now there's evidence that Trump pressured Georgia's top election official to alter the state's results.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. The people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Legal votes.
Trump suggested that Raffensperger, a Republican, could face prosecution for refusing to cooperate.
You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense, and you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk.
Trump's comments drew swift condemnation from the incoming administration.
Have you all heard about that recorded conversation? Well, it was, yes, certainly the voice of desperation. Most certainly that. And it was a bald-faced, bold abuse of power by the President of the United States.
News of Trump's potential meddling comes at a crucial moment for the state of Georgia and the nation. On Tuesday, millions of Georgians will cast ballots in 2 runoff elections that could decide which party controls the U.S. Senate. With polls showing a close race, Trump's comments could have a significant impact on the eventual outcome of those contests.
DW's Peter Lola-Dahl is covering this story for us. Peter, the recording of the Trump conversation with the Georgia election official, quite a bombshell. What do you make of it?
Right. Well, I think, this is an unprecedented move that many legal experts now say, is possibly a criminal offense, maybe even impeachable. We're having the president of the United States on tape using or abusing his power, some would argue, to essentially try to pressure the Secretary of State of Georgia to overturn the results of a fair and democratic election. And one point that especially stood out that we also saw in that report there was, it really reminded me of back when Trump had his famous phone call with the Ukrainian president that ultimately led to his impeachment. And in this case, we're seeing Trump again trying to, like I said, use the power of his office to try to pressure another official and vaguely threaten them to get what he wants. He, said that Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger was taking a big risk by not pursuing Trump's false claims of voter fraud. And the thing is, Georgia has already done that. I mean, they've already had several audits, have several recounts at President Donald Trump's request, sure, none of which found any wrongdoing, no irregularities, no evidence of fraud. And so it's a little unclear why Donald Trump continues to pursue this, especially seeing as overturning Georgia would not change anything. Joe Biden would still have enough votes nationally to remain the president-elect of the United States. And so it really, I think, confirms that Donald Trump is not, 2 months after the election, is not willing to accept defeat, and that will do almost anything to undo history, and really is willing to split his own party, who will now have to choose between whether to back Trump or distance themselves from him.
This is happening in Georgia, of course, which has those crucial Senate runoff races. What impact could this recording have on that?
I mean, obviously, it's too early to tell, but it's a very, very tight race. And we're already seeing Democrats jump in on this, saying that this shows that the Republican Party essentially has no respect for Georgia and Georgia's right to conduct its own constitutional right to conduct its own free and fair elections. It also really puts the 2 Republican candidates, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, in a pickle because they run as staunch Trump supporters. And essentially now they have to, are in the uncomfortable position where they have to either stand up for their state and Georgia Republicans or to side with Donald Trump.
Okay, just a final word on what's happening on Wednesday. A very big week in the U.S. right now. On Wednesday, the Congress is supposed to vote to confirm the Electoral College vote on the presidential election. What do you see happening there?
Right. So what we're seeing, or what we have seen over the past couple of days, is over 100 Republicans in the House of Representatives, and now over a dozen senators, Republican senators, who say that they will try to contest the election. That is not likely to go anywhere. The Democrats still control the House, and unless you have both chambers objecting or rejecting the results, that's not going to go anywhere. President-elect Joe Biden is still going to be confirmed and inaugurated on January 20th.
Peter, thank you so much. DW's Peter Rødledal.